Good Friday morning. Kash Patel was confirmed as the director of the FBI. See why his confirmation is controversial.
And see how a new AI language model can help you learn sign language.
And see how this Muncie exhibit tells the story of the Underground Railroad. Get the coffee ready and open up those eyes. You're waking up with Cardinal Weather.
From Ball State Unified Media, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, live from the Ball State Weather Center.
Good Friday morning to you. You're waking up with Cardinal Weather. I'm Amelia Winter.
And I'm Daniel Huber.
Yesterday, the Senate voted to confirm Kash Patel to lead the nation's top law enforcement agency. Two Republican senators, Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, joined Democrats in voting against his confirmation, citing his prior political activities. Patel's nomination for FBI director had faced intense scrutiny from Democrats. As a staunch loyalist of President Donald Trump, Democrats had warned that Patel could use the position to seek retribution against Trump's perceived political enemies. During his hearing, Patel said there will be no politicalization at the FBI and no retributive action.
Today will mark a somber moment in the nation's history, the 60th anniversary of the assassination of civil rights activist Malcolm X. Malcolm X was a powerful voice in the fight against racism in the United States. He was a national representative of the Nation of Islam and would be a leader in the Black Power movement, arguing for black independence by any means necessary. He would leave the Nation of Islam and embrace Orthodox Islam. Malcolm X was fatally shot after he took stage at the Audubon Ballroom in New York City on February 21, 1965. 3 men were convicted for his murder and were sentenced to life in prison. However, 2 of the men were exonerated decades later in 2021.
The U.S. Navy has relieved the commander of an aircraft carrier that collided with another vessel in the Mediterranean Sea earlier this month. Captain Dave Snowden was serving as commander of the USS Harry S. Truman when it collided with a merchant ship near the entrance of the Suez Canal. It's not clear what caused the collision, but no flooding or injuries were reported. The aircraft on board were also undamaged, but the carrier itself did need repairs. Snowden had been the commander of the Truman since December of 2023. Captain Christopher Hill, the commander of the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower aircraft carrier, will temporarily step into the role. And with the freezing temperatures coming up and everything, I'm glad no one was hurt, everyone was safe, because that lake was probably really cold.
Oh, yeah, and hypothermia is, not good for anyone, right?
Yeah, definitely not. But everyone's safe, so that's good.
Right?
Yes.
Let's see if the waters are still going to be cold for much longer. We're going to go ahead and toss it up.
Thank you. Let's take a look at some of those current temperatures right now. 19 degrees in Muncie, 11 in Kokomo, 15 in Indianapolis, and you can see to the west of us, they are down into those single digits for that temperature right now. Let's take a deeper dive into our surrounding areas. 19 degrees in Farmland and Portland, 11 up in Hartford City, and 17 in Marion, so pretty much all around the upper teens for those temperatures. We do have some cloud cover right now, however, that's going to dissipate and leave us with a sunny afternoon for today. Those temperatures versus the wind chill hour by hour as we go throughout today. You can see that temperature is going to get up until 31 degrees, so just shy of that freezing point. However, those wind chills are going to be pretty chilly and we will not break above 21 degrees for that real feel outside today. So a very chilly day overall. Here is what we are tracking during this show. We are tracking temperatures increasing, sunny skies, and gusty winds for the weekend.
Thank you, Aaliyah. Coming up, find out how AI is helping teach sign language.
That's after Weather Now. Welcome back. The Earth is waking up a bit safer this morning. The odds of an asteroid hitting the Earth in 7 years have decreased. Astronomers say that threat posed by the 2024 YR4 asteroid is now 0.28%. Earlier this week, YR4 had 3% chances of hitting Earth, making it the riskiest asteroid ever detected. NASA continues to monitor the asteroid since it keeps shifting. The space rock is about 130 to 300 feet, which could cause local damage if it were to strike Earth.
A new AI platform aims to make learning sign language easier. A tech company in California has launched the free platform called Signs. It uses a 3D avatar to demonstrate signs. Users keep their video cameras on while interacting with the platform, and an AI tool provides feedback as users practice. The platform features 100 distinct signs, but the company hopes to grow that to 1,000 by allowing ASL speakers to contribute videos of signs not yet available.
Birds of paradise are now thought to have a secret superpower, biofluorescence. Scientists recently discovered that these types of birds glow under ultraviolet light, and that when doing so, they reveal hidden colors invisible to human eyes. The colors are thought to be used for mating and setting territories. Researchers spotted this glow on 37 of 45 known species, lighting up their feathers, beaks, and even the inside of their mouths.
It's not just people who could use a helping hand in freezing temperatures. The Midwest cold spared no one this week, especially in Ohio. Check out the video on your screen. Police officers in Medina found a dog that had fallen through the ice into a freezing pond. Using a rescue rope and a catch pole, the dog was pulled to safety. The dog was warmed up and is now doing fine. Meanwhile, the Lafayette Township Fire Department was trying to rescue a horse that had fallen on the ice and couldn't get back up. First responders had to use a tow truck with ropes to pull the horse to a height where he could get his legs under him and regain his footing. The horse is now safely back in his stall. And I'm glad the horse and the dog were safe because, like we said earlier, those lake temperatures are freezing all over the Midwest region.
Right? Oh, I'm incredibly impressed with that horse.
Yes.
They're heavy.
I know, that's
Huge.
crazy, but it's good that they got everyone up. So,
Right?
yes. Well, we're going to toss it over to Rachel with your national weather.
Thank you so much, you guys. Taking a look at our current temperatures in the United States, Midwest in those high teens, and then as we go to those central plains, we are in those single digits, even in those negatives, but out west we are in those low to mid 50s. And for our highs, we see mid 20s and low 30s in the Midwest and central portions, and then as we move out west, high 50s and mid 60s. And looking at our current watches and warnings out east, we see in Raleigh, North Carolina, there is a winter weather advisory. But just south of that, in Jacksonville, Florida, we see a freeze warning, but a new weather advisory that was just presented by the National Weather Service, which is active in the southwest, southern portions of the states, as well as upper Central Plains, is a cold weather advisory bringing about colder temperatures within these regions. And looking up north in Denver, Colorado, we see a winter storm warning as well as a winter weather advisory. And up north, there is an orographic outlook bringing about flooding in those small water regions that are called in rivers. And looking at our radar, we see Denver, we see the snow. In Denver and up north, we see a little bit of rain coming about. And then taking a look at our precision cast model, we actually see overcast coming into the Pacific Northwest, bringing about snow and rain, as well as southwest parts of Texas. And then going into Saturday morning, we see a new model coming in, bringing about stormy weather, big energy up in the Pacific Northwest, and a little bit of rain down in the Texas region. And we see more overcast coming about as well. And looking at our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, there is below average rain out west, but just in the southwest above average rain. And then in our region, Midwest, we are actually in range for precipitation but in the northeastern region, we are above average for our precipitation. And I'm glad that we are in range for rainfall, because I would rather have rain than snow.
Me too, especially when driving. It's like the sleet everywhere, so hopefully the rain will
Yeah.
not cause that. Yeah, definitely. I'm tired of the snow. Tired of it.
I'm ready
Yes.
for rain.
No.
Me too.
Is the rain going to cause any ice at all, though?
No, warmer weather next week.
Oh.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Rachel. Coming up, find out how this immersive exhibit helps teach about the Underground Railroad.
That's after your weather now. Welcome back. The time is 8:12, and you're taking a live look at the site of the new Performing Arts Center.
Hidden history is being brought to light at the Ivy Tech Community College, where an exhibit is giving visitors a powerful look into the Underground Railroad and the journey to freedom. And with the help from Ball State University, this immersive experience is helping history come alive. Newslink Indiana's Demar Robinson has the latest.
The Journey to Freedom exhibit showcases the stories of those who risked everything to escape slavery. The exhibit presents African American history in the U.S. with a special emphasis on the Underground Railroad in Indiana. With around 11 towering posters standing nearly 7 feet tall, the space visually walks visitors through the centuries of African American history. Photographs align with its respective era, while literature, files, documents, and autobiographies offer a deeper personal perspective. Ball State University students and faculty played a key role in bringing the exhibit to life, contributing research, design, and educational resources. Professor Beth Messner shares all about the moving parts that made this exhibit possible.
For me, it's an exciting process. It can be a stressful process, but every time I have, worked with a group of students on an immersive learning project, what they have created has always ended up being bigger and better and more powerful than what I may have envisioned it to be at the beginning. And that's certainly the case with the Journey to Freedom project.
Graduate student Madison Marshall tells us that the unique stories and lessons presented in the exhibit should invoke reaction and discussion among those that attend.
We wanted to, put some stories out that were very much unknown stories or hidden histories, if you will, but that we wanted people to walk away from this exhibit with questions, comments, and things that they wanted to discuss between each other. We've had both classes come, but also just individuals come with, family, friends, and whatnot, and start to open up those dialogues.
The exhibit covers the 17th century all the way to the 21st century, chronicling African Americans' journey to freedom both while enslaved and after being documented as freed. The exhibit will be held at the John and Janice Fisher Building at Ivy Tech from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. all the way until Wednesday, February 9th. And the event is free and open to the public. In Muncie, Demar Robinson, Newslink, Indiana.
If you aren't able to go out and experience before tomorrow, the exhibit will be next at the YWCA on February 25th all the way through the 12th of March. And campus safety is a top priority for the Ball State Police Department, but they're doing much more.
Ride along with Newslink Indiana's Aiden Murray to see what the officers do for students.
To protect and serve. That is the motto for police officers everywhere, and Ball State's University Police Department is no exception. But the UPD works to take their duties further, building connections with students and trust in the community. Officers like Lieutenant Benjamin Wright want to show how the UPD do more than just protect campus.
So for me, I usually work from 2:30 to 10:30. Usually when I come in, a lot of my duties are administrative as I am a supervisor for the entire shift. Once I get everything squared away with that, I go out and patrol. I spend probably 5 of my 8 hours on the road, at least 5 hours depending on what needs to be completed.
The department focuses heavily on something called community policing. Here, they work towards building a strong connection with students and employees of Ball State, making sure they feel trusted and safe. Some aspects of their policing involve programs like Lunch with a Cop or just attending campus events to better connect with the community.
Throughout the day, we also have opportunities to do like foot patrols throughout the different buildings across campus. So usually I spend 30 to 45 minutes of my day trying to go through an area like the atrium, for example, or the student center, or over at the arena where the rec center is. I walk through, just wave to people if they see me, just to feel that I'm trying to be friendly.
While community is a core value of their policing, the UPD also deal with disturbances and crime on campus and parts of Muncie. Many situations they're called to stem from mental health problems. Lieutenant Wright said that it's unfortunate people deal with those problems, and their officers try to help as much as they can in those situations.
Trying to help issues on scenes, even though it may be off campus. We try to just continue that excellent service we offer here on campus, getting to know people if possible, trying to complete the call to the best of our ability. That way there's no issues, while we're on scene. I think that continues to allow us to get to know people in the community.
The University Police Department aims for their work in the community to build trust with students and improve their perception of law enforcement, creating a safer and stronger community. In Muncie, Aiden Murray, Newslink, Indiana.
Ball State Police offer many programs and services to help students, which can be found on the Ball State website by searching University Police. And there's just so many great opportunities right now going on in the community with the police department and the exhibit going on at Ivy Tech. There's just so much going on. It's
right?
Awesome.
But let's see what else is going on with weather. Tossing it to Aaliyah.
Thank you. Let's take a look at that temperature increase that we've had from yesterday. So although it may not seem like it, we are 13 degrees above what we were yesterday at this time of day. You can see almost everyone in our surrounding region is also above that temperature from yesterday. 11-degree increase in Fort Wayne, 8 degrees in Kokomo, 12 in Indianapolis and Shelbyville. Now with these temperatures increasing, the high isn't very warm for today. The current temperature is 19 degrees in Muncie, 11 in Kokomo, 15 in Indianapolis, and then in those single digits to the west of us. That current wind chill is very chilly outside right now. You can see single digits here in Muncie, 9 degrees for that wind chill. So the wind chill is affecting us pretty severely this morning. 5 degrees in Marion and 0 degrees for the real feel in Kokomo. So a very, very chilly morning overall. However, it will warm up today. Not very much, but to 28 degrees for the high. It is pretty cloudy right now and some scattered snow showers. However, those will dissipate and leave us with a mostly sunny day overall. And those winds should calm down quite a bit with coming from the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, let's take an hour-by-hour look at what's going to happen. 31 degrees at 7 p.m., so just below that freezing point, and then decreasing to 29 degrees by 9 p.m. and 28 degrees by 11 p.m. to leave us with a mostly cloudy evening overall. These wind gusts for this weekend are going to be pretty hefty. You can see 19 miles per hour. This is tomorrow at 2 p.m., and everyone in our surrounding region is in that upper teens to low 20 mile per hour wind gusts as well. Those are going to stick around. This is 6:30 p.m. on Saturday with 15 miles per hour, and then continue into Sunday, also 15 miles per hour. This is Sunday at 6 a.m. So a pretty gusty weekend overall. However, those temperatures will be increasing from what we have been experiencing. 27 degrees for the high today, warming up to 48 degrees by Monday, and then 47 on Tuesday as well. So we are almost hitting that 50-degree mark as we start next week. The average high for the next 5 days is 39 degrees, which is pretty average around this time of year. The 6 to 10-day temperature outlook here in Indiana, we are in that right on average for the next 6 to 10 days. We should be experiencing temperatures right around that average. We can see most of the middle to western part of the U.S. is actually above average. The next 7 days, like I said, those temperatures are going to be increasing, which I am super excited for. Those lows are even getting into above that freezing point in a mostly sunny week overall. And then the start of next week, we could possibly see some rain, but I'm just excited that I might not have to be scraping my car off every morning anymore.
Yes!
Too. I'm so excited for that warm up.
Yes,
it's gonna
me
be so
too.
nice. Yes.
I don't got to cover my nice looking jackets with a coat.
Definitely not. Thank you so much, Aaliyah. Coming up, check out our exclusive interview with a familiar face and learn what is happening this weekend at Worthen.
That's after your Weather Now.
Welcome back to Cardinal Weather. I'm Camden Jackson with sports. This week on What's New in the Shoe with Newsweek Indiana's Dakota Atwood, he catches up with a familiar face for the Cardinals.
Welcome to What's New in the Shoe. This week, nothing new to the Ball State program. We have Kyle Kelly. Kyle, what's your offseason been like so far?
It's a lot of new stuff, new faces, new offense, new everything. So it's just been a adjustment. It's kind of like being a freshman all over again, having to learn everything all over again. But it's been fun. Definitely one of the more fun off seasons we had because everybody's starting at the same level. So it's been fun to grow with each other and see what we have going into next year.
Cupid's month. It's Valentine's Day last week. You've hit the portal twice, but you came back. Why do you love Ball State so much?
For me, it's just it's a feeling of being comfortable. The people here are amazing. Outside of football, it's amazing. The support that I've had from on campus and just just everywhere. You know, I feel like it's unmatched. So just that feeling of being wanted and understanding what you're gonna get, it's can't be beat.
You mentioned the off-campus people, the fans. How excited are you to give the fans football again this year?
Really excited. You know, that's what gets the team going. You know, showing up on Saturday, seeing, you know, people at the Cardinal Walk, and then coming in first opening kickoff, all the fans going crazy. So like, that's what you look forward to being a college football player. So yeah, we looking forward to seeing the fans out in the Schumann Stadium again.
Anything you'd like to say to the fans, to anybody back home? Like, what's on your mind today as Kyle Kelly?
I'll just say, you know, just be on the lookout for Ball State football. You know, we put in work, and you know, we really trying to turn things around here. So if they wanna see some good ball, just tune in next year and just be ready.
Again, special thanks to the football program and Kyle Kelly for taking the time to join us. A very busy weekend ahead of us for this weekend for Ball State sports, but there's one big event on campus. There's a basketball doubleheader at Worden Arena tomorrow afternoon. First, your 20-6 women's team lost their first game of conference play on Wednesday night to Toledo in a heartbreaker of a game after starting the season 12-0. They will look to bounce back tomorrow at noon against Kent State. The women's game will be themed Think Pink. The Ball State men's team will follow the women's team afterwards at 2:30 for a game versus Buffalo. The men's team is looking to move up in MAC rankings with the win over Buffalo after losing a tough game versus Toledo on Tuesday night. The men's game will be themed Community Day with free parking and $1 hot dogs and popcorn. At the men's game, the 1999 to 2000s men's team will be celebrated. That team is 22-9 with an 11-7 MAC record. That team also won the MAC tournament, and former Ball State Cardinal Dwayne Clemens was the MAC tournament MVP and made second team All-MAC. The Ball State men's basketball team that year received an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament as an 11 seed, but lost in the first round to number 6 seed UCLA. So if you have nothing to do this weekend, go to Worden Arena and cheer on your men's and women's basketball teams. Coming up, how the lasting snow has a lasting effect on your car with this morning's Breaking Down the Science. That's after your weather now.
Welcome back. We're going to break down the science with Elizabeth.
Thank you. For today's Breaking Down the Science, we're going to be talking about snowmelt and the consequences that it has on the road. Frequently in Indiana, we often see lots of potholes during this time of year as we ease into the spring. So how do potholes really come into play? Potholes are caused by expansion and contraction of groundwater after the water has entered the ground of the pavement. When water freezes, it does expand, causing pavement to crack and expand, weakening pavement, leaving gaps and voids on the surface level of the roads. So I've drawn out this diagram to explain a little bit on how the snow melt causes potholes. The two main points that we want to take away from this is the roadbed and the soil. The rainwater sinks through and cracks in the old asphalt. Water is then soaked up by the mixture of the road, rock, gravel, and that supports the road. Then, as the vehicle is passing over the road, force water through soggy roadbed, eventually eroding parts. Then this is where the pothole comes into play. The pothole in the roadbed in the soil, the asphalt then sinks into eroded portions of the roadbed, eventually cracking causing the chunks to come loose. Then how do those potholes really get covered? Well, there's this thing called hot and cold patch material, which is what covers the pothole. So this is normally patched up with exclusive cold patch and hot patch materials. So why do these potholes come more in the spring? Well, when salt is used to prevent ice on the road during the winter, it lowers the temperatures that the water will freeze out, which water normally freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. This creates an artificial freeze-thaw cycle, causing a more damaging cycle to happen to the roads, causing this to take place in the spring because of the snow melt and temperatures fluctuating above and below freezing temperatures. So as we ease into those spring times, make sure we watch out for those potholes. And now you're well informed on how potholes are covered. Now back to the desk.
Thank you, Elizabeth. We're going to have a final look at weather with Aaliyah.
Yeah, let's take one last look at that 7-day forecast. You can see those temperatures increasing as we move throughout the weekend, with the high on Monday being 48 and the high on Tuesday reaching that 50-degree mark, which is much needed for those frigid temperatures that we have been experiencing these past couple weeks. Mostly sunny skies, a pretty breezy weekend overall with wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. A slight chance of rain in the middle of next week, and those lows are starting to stay above that freezing point starting next week. Thank you.
That's all for Cardinal Weather this Friday morning. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you next week. Have a great rest of your Friday and have a fantastic weekend.